Hey, remember me? Hi everybody, I am back. Remember me? I am Katrina, Miss Ann. And we've been on a little hiatus. It was not something that we did on purpose. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. But first, I want to do is invite you and welcome you to the Fierce Arts Entertainment TV channel on YouTube. Thank you for being my guest today. Thank you for joining the Be Courageous broadcast, our vlog. And we are excited about you being here. We're glad that you're back, and we hope that you didn't think we forgot about you, because I've been thinking about you quite a bit. But we end up having a little issue with our recording. We did all of the taping, we had gone through all of that, and then our SD card broke. Can you imagine that? Going through all that taping and everything and getting prepared to do our edits so that we could post it, so that we could get our message out to you, so that we could talk, and the SD card was broke. Well, we moved past that and we decided to go a different route for our recording. So we're here today and we have a new topic, a different approach. We're still doing storytelling, but you know, I'm not sure if you love music as much as I do, but I am a music lover. And so I love a lot of different genres of music. I would not say every genre, that would be a lie. But there are a lot of different genres of music that I do enjoy. And recently, some things on social media have just really been catching my eye. Conversations that have been going on. There was a recent conversation from a talk show that John Gray was on, and some of the things that he talked about were kind of maybe taken out of context or whatever. I don't know all the intentions of his heart, but it's been a lot of little stuff going on social media behind that. And one of the conversations that I felt like was interesting as a result of that started was a conversation about women having to experience this pain in relationships before they could get to what was good and then be celebrated. And so then this idea came up that women should not have to go through this pain in a relationship in order to get to the good. You know, not that you don't experience anything bad in a relationship, or that, you know, relationships are not work, but at the same time, work does not necessarily mean it has to be a struggle, or that you have to go through something bad in order to be celebrated as a woman or to be celebrated in a relationship. So how does that tie into music? So, you know, I have opinions. Yeah, I have opinions, and I have strong beliefs about certain things. And I think that music has a major influence on our culture. If you don't agree, then I guess you're not a music lover. But no matter where you go, there's usually going to be some type of music in the background, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a clothing store. You know, of course, if you go to a club, if you go to church, wherever you go, music is usually a major part of that atmosphere. And so I think to try to downplay the role that music has in our lives is foolish. That's the best way I would describe it. I think that music, for some people, is a way of life. And one of the things that I did many years ago as a team leader or a team minister, I polled my kids and I asked them what was one thing that they couldn't live without. And on that list was music. They said the one thing that they couldn't live without was music. And I was like, wow, that's really deep. You can't live without music, like stop breathing without music. That's really deep. Just think about that. Like, and think about what the absence of music would mean in our lives if it just suddenly disappeared. Well, you know, you see everybody usually has their smartphone or, you know, whatever it is. We all are staying connected to our music in some kind of way. And so I just thought about the power that music has had in our generations over the years and how it influences our culture in a way that maybe sometimes we're not aware of. And so that made me think about a particular song by Miss Betty Wright. And stone me now, get it out the way, because I know Betty Wright is a legend. She's a classic. You can go to certain places, and when a Betty Wright song comes on, everybody in that place is singing along. They're singing that song, Me and My Baby Back Together Again. They just go off the charts behind Betty Wright, okay? Certain people from my era, and really Betty Wright is probably a little bit before me, but I got indoctrinated with Betty Wright through people that were a little bit older than me. And so there's a particular song that pertains to what I was saying earlier about the pain that is kind of like celebrated, that women have to go through this pain, and and if a woman doesn't go through this pain with you in this relationship, if she's not your ride or die, if she's not down with you when things are really tough, then that's how you got a good woman, is if she go through hell with you. And so Betty Wright has a song that is called After the Pain, and After the Pain comes after a song called No Pain, No Gain. And specifically, I want to talk about some of the lyrics in this song, because, like, Betty, were you really trying to teach us that or express that to us, and how much people love that music and took a hold of that song, and it's been passed down from generation to generation? I think that more than the song, but the message has been passed down to generation to generation. And so these are some of the lyrics. Okay, so there's a situation with her and Mr. Charlie. And Mr. Charlie, people have told her, oh, Mr. Charlie is just a man. He's doing the best he can. But apparently, Mr. Charlie is either cheating, abusing, doing a lot of horrible things to her. But some kind of way, her and Mr. Charlie, they got back together. Okay? And so she says that I still love you like I do, though you still do me like you do. So that means that not only did you take Mr. Charlie back, she took Mr. Charlie back, and he's still doing the same stuff to her that he was doing that caused them to break up in the first place. She talks about crying and holding back the tears and putting on a smile anyway. And she's trying to figure out why she still loves him. And I know that emotions and all of those things are being caught up in our relationships. But one of the things that I really thought was profound about this song is that she has this message. She said, well, having a piece of a man is better than having no man at all. Wow. That's really a deep message. Like, and to convey that message, and not only convey it, but to promote it and encourage it, says what? Because to be honest, and I'm not a man basher, I believe in strong men. I have strong men in my life that are very loving and kind and caring, very positive. I'm raising 2 young men, so I'm not a man basher. I love my family. I love the men in my family. I love, hey, that's not the issue here. But that's a strong message. And she says that even though he's doing all these horrible things to her, that God is watching him, and that God is gonna deal with Mr. Charlie because he's doing all this stuff for her, and that she's gonna be blessed anyway because she's going through all these things. And so it just makes me think, again, is that the message that we want to send to anybody, to our generation, not only to the generations that now we've taken that as a part of our life, and we've lived our lives based off of this type of thought process or thinking that it's okay to have a piece of a man, or having a piece of man is better than not having a man at all. So what message have we sent to our men? What type of relationships does that encourage? That doesn't encourage a positive relationship. And I just want to say that abuse on anybody's part is not acceptable. I myself have overreacted in situations and done things that I shouldn't do. And abuse is not acceptable on either part, male or female. And I just want to say that the messages that are in our music they affect our culture. We say art imitating life, but I think that also not only does it imitate life, it also encourages us to live a certain way. So stick with me, because I want to tell you about another song, because it would seem like, okay, maybe that was the past generation, maybe that's what we used to do. But there's a newer song by Rihanna, and I believe that you'll see that there's something similar in there about encouraging this type of behavior. And I want to definitely get you to comment. Talk in the comments, share, and let us know what you think about this. This is a conversation that's worthy of having, because again, our music affects a lot of the things that we do. So let's take a look at what Rihanna's song says. And I think that you'll be surprised by what we find when we look up Rihanna's song.
One eternity later.
Okay, we're back, and here is Rihanna's song, Love on the Brain. And you got me, let go, what you want from me. And I tried to buy your pretty heart, but the price too high. Baby, you got me like, oh. You love me when I fall apart. So you can put me together and throw me against the wall. This song, when I really listened to the lyrics and everything, I was like, nah, wow, really? Especially understanding and knowing some of the things that Rihanna went through. Like, she's not the writer of this song, she's not the author of this song, but she chose to sing it. And I'm telling you, the beat is dope, and we get all into the beat. And you know, the arrangement of the lyrics are very, I mean, the whole thing is cold. But definitely, she's talking about, oh baby, I'm fist fighting with fire just to get close to you. Can we burn something, baby? And I run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain that's got me feeling this way. It beats me black and blue, but it F's me up so good. That's amazing. Like, so we are on one side, we're saying, you know, women, we don't want to see you in abusive situations. Women, it's not good to be in abusive situations. There was a whole campaign against Rihanna and the situation that happened with her and Chris Brown years ago with the abuse and all of that. But then here it is. This is a song that Rihanna is singing about basically a situation, a bad relationship that she keeps running back to. Of course, you know, we may all be guilty of being in situations where we love somebody and we may do extra for them, but should we be putting ourselves in a position, of course, love is unconditional, or it should be unconditional, but at the same time, it doesn't require you to accept certain abuses. And not only accept the abuse, but kind of get caught up in the culture of that thing where we are running back to something that we know is not good for us. And I can personally say that it's been a struggle, because once you let certain things into your life, then it's not that easy to just break away from it. And it definitely takes God's power to deliver us from some things, and our eyes opening up and some things being revealed to us for us to step away from bad situations. So I just find it interesting that these songs are a part of our culture. We dance to them, we laugh, we sing. People make love to these songs and celebrate with these songs and all of that. And the messages that are in these songs are not at all positive. They are definitely showing relationships that are codependent, relationships with people that are abusive, but yet you continue to go back to the abusive situation. And I would say that, you know, there are lots of great songs out there that promote positive messages, positive things, and I just want to encourage us to remember, we've been talking about relationships before, and I want to tell you, go back and look at the other videos that we posted originally, and maybe they'll have a deeper meaning to you now that we talked about this topic. But it's important that you make sure that everything that you take in that it's a positive, and that you are aware of what you're taking in. Sometimes we don't have control of the environment we're in or what we take in. Like if you go somewhere and they're playing something, what you're gonna do, run out the door or whatever. But just be conscious of the thoughts and the ideas that are being presented to you through some of the things that you're listening to, especially in your music. And I would say we're gonna talk about some other songs, because there are some other songs that are really creepy. And I'm in love this subject because I love creative writing. So thank you for joining me here on the Fierce Arts and Entertainment TV channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, share this. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's keep it going. Share your thoughts with me about what you think about this particular topic and anything else that you think. Let us know what other topics you like for us to talk about, things that you like to hear us discuss. I appreciate you for being here. I'm Miss Ann. I am Patrina, Miss Ann. I am Patrina, Miss Ann, and I am signing off, saying thank you, peace, love, and joy and happiness. Thank you for joining us.